you don't have time for meal prep, what can you just walk into the supermarket and grab? And this is such a fantastic question because not only do we need this, we need to have some ideas, but I also do this all the time. And I definitely am big on meal prep. I do like to have all homemade meals and all of that, but I do find myself out and about, running around, trying to fit a lot into every day. And I do find myself at the supermarket grabbing some options. And I think that this is a fantastic question. So I am going to answer it today. Firstly, I'm going to give you a formula, but then actually going to give you some options. Now, before the show today, I had a bit of time and I did go into one of the supermarkets and I took a whole bunch of pictures of things that you can combine together. So I will share them with you, but I will also pop those pictures up on the Wellbeing Wednesdays with Snez, the Facebook group. So go in there and have a little bit of a look at that and just see what inspiration that you can have. So I think the first thing that is really important to know is, well, what are you actually looking for? So are we just looking for all pre-made meals? Or are we just going to grab some bread? So what are we actually looking for? And I think firstly is just having the formula and just understanding what a balanced plate looks like. The first thing is protein. So we definitely need to have protein. So that could be tuna, it could be edamame, it could be some sliced chicken breast, it could be some pre-cooked chicken. I've seen there's some shredded chicken that you can buy not only from the deli but in packets in the supermarket. There's also slow cooked pulled apart beef and pork that you can buy as well. They used to have, and I haven't seen this for some time, but you used to be able to buy boiled eggs, fresh boiled eggs in little containers with some spinach. That would be another really fantastic option. There's lots of tofu products that are flavored tofu strips that you can use, that you can eat straight out of the packet that don't even require heating. So there's a number of things that you can do there. So we need to look firstly for the proteins portion. Now, remembering that supermarkets also do have the roast chickens. Now, I don't know if you want to grab a whole roast chicken and be pulling it apart at your desk or in your workplace kitchen. However, they do sell sections. Some supermarkets actually in that oven section, they do have like a quarter or a half a chicken, or even sometimes just a couple of legs in there. I have seen that before. So that's definitely something that you can grab. Then we're going to add in the veggies. So where can you find veggies? A lot of those pre-cut salads are fantastic. There are some of the already done for you salads that have the dressing in there. There's the goodness salad or the goddess salad that is just fantastic. It has all the right elements in there. I find that, especially for a lunch or dinner, I'd probably be adding a can of tuna to that, just to increase the protein portion of that. But that's definitely something that you can do. If you don't find a pre-cut salad, or if that just feels like too much effort for you, then you can absolutely just grab some snow peas, some cherry tomatoes. There's the mini cucumbers, the cukes, some baby carrots, for example, celery, all of those things that can just be eaten raw. And you have enough of them, and you'll get a good serving of veggies in. The other thing is then just to add some healthy fats in. So whether you want to get a seed mix that you can sprinkle on some of these things, or some nuts, or if you want to get some dips, you might get some hummus dip or an avocado dip, for example, just to introduce that healthy fats in. Olives are a fantastic thing just to buy a container of these that you can just leave in the fridge. But all of a sudden, you're putting some things in place that you can throw together. And then we want some nice, healthy, whole grain carbohydrates. So, moving away from just getting a bread roll or something like that, you could definitely get some of those pre cooked rices. Now, some of them do have lots of salt in them, lots of flavors and additives, but there are some plain packets of pure basmati rice that you can just grab. Make sure that you're looking at the serving sizes. You may find that most of them do offer to have two serving sizes in them. So that's something that if you grabbed a couple of those things, you could probably give yourself lunch for the next 2 days. So we are looking for, when we are in the supermarket, we're scouting around for a source of protein, some veggies, and also healthy fats and a, a good whole grain carbohydrate in there. So now we're going to combine these things in. So all you need to do, and it's also really going to be dependent on what you have in terms of cooking facilities at home at work. So if you don't have anything, so the salads and maybe some nuts and tuna is probably going to be the best thing for you, or the salad mixes with the cooked chicken and some olives is going to work. If you do have a bit of a kitchenette fit out where you can heat some things up, you could definitely get some of the falafels where you can heat them up and just buy a little container of yogurt, a packet of falafels, and a mini container of yogurt, plus a pre-chopped salad is going to see you out for a couple of days of lunches. So maybe even 3 days of lunches, which is really good. But obviously, with the falafels, you're going to need an oven or some sort of way that you can heat those up. So think about what you've got. Have a look around the kitchen and just see how user friendly it is going to be to firstly put some of these things together, but then to be able to store them as well. So you need to be able to store some ingredients. If you do have quite a good kitchen fit out, then I would definitely be uh, inviting you to go and just get yourself a small bottle of balsamic vinegar and a small bottle of extra virgin olive oil, and just use that on your salad dressing. So if you do get the pre-cooked chicken breast, the shredded chicken, then you could put that just over a plain salad mix with some cherry tomatoes, and just drizzle a little bit of olive oil, apple cider vinegar, put some, even if you get some cream cheese, there's some little, the cream cheese do come in those little individual packets that you can put in there, and some olives. And all of a sudden, that is absolutely a delicious and fulfilling, wholesome lunch. A lot easier to do when you sort of know what you're kind of looking for. So, definitely some of the things that you could do are some fluffles, some mini cucumbers, some Greek yogurt, the tuna cans with salad mix in there. I saw some really interesting croutons in the health food section today, which would go really well. There was like some baked veggie sticks that could go as crunchy croutons. I thought that was really interesting. But I think it just takes the time. It just really takes time to go in there and have a look. If there's the pre-boiled eggs, you could do that with some cherry tomatoes and some hummus, some cooked chicken, as I said, with the coleslaw salad mix with the dressing. You could definitely do, for something a bit quicker and easier, just a small container of cottage cheese, do some capsicum or some cherry tomatoes in there, and just put some slivered almonds in there, for example. And it's just going to give you the nutrients, the healthy fats, and the protein that you need to tie you over. There's smoked salmon in cans. You could do that with spinach and cream cheese, and all of a sudden you're feeling like you're eating in a fancy fancy restaurant. So lots that you can do. I'm just going to open up the pictures of that I took, because there were some really good combinations that everyone is enjoying. Ah, that's right. I found the salmon slices, and there's also some canned chickpeas, but that are actually flavored. They're called the snack time chickpeas, but you could definitely put in some salmon and some of those chickpeas. They're quite flavored. You've got the oil coming from the can of salmon. I always do smoked salmon. I just absolutely love the flavor of that. And then you've got the spinach and rocket, and just the plain raw spinach and rocket, but the chickpeas and the salmon, all of a sudden mix that through into a bowl, and that is going to be absolutely delicious. I actually really love that combo. I just came up with that today. I'm like, oh, that's actually a really good idea. But the more you look around at the raw ingredients, the more you'll find some really great combos. And then, yeah, the other one was the falafels, the ones in the health food section, in the fridge section, plus getting a little tub of Greek yogurt, and then even just getting a small jar of kimchi that you can find right next to the falafels. How convenient, in the supermarket in the fridge section, and that would be a fantastic combination. So, look, ideally, yes, making sure that we are putting together already, meals that we've prepared for is a fabulous idea. But if you aren't going to get to that, then just go out there and grab a couple of options. So go onto the Wellbeing Wednesdays with Snez, the Facebook group, and just check out some of the combinations that I've put together for some lunch inspiration.